I get coolie, I get fire, God. I do shit to stick, you ain't got eyes. I don't feel you, I don't feel your bars. Time is real, though I ain't feel like pushing the odor over the back. They're trying to get me a relapse. The cotton picking pockets to find how many fit in the back. I ain't with it, I whip the kitty. I ain't with indecision, you been witty with it, the bitty. Either over his head or we mobbing under a ceiling. They wanted me to conceal it, but I'ma keep it the realest. I've been a doozy, you snoozing on me. If you wanna feel it, avoid the fear of losing the moment. Be bolder than broken for pose on the upper. Enchiladas for supper, what my mama could sum up. Prima donna, you joking, you a dime a dozen. We be breathing fire with dragons, you go die in the dungeon. You get high on assumption, you trying to subject, you fly in the bucket. And we ain't even trying to run it. He buying a bum with a visa, he lying or something. The guy in the trunk with a beater, he dying with I get coolie, I get fire, God. I do shit to stick, you ain't got eyes. I don't feel you, I don't feel your bars. Time is real, though I ain't feel like dumb broke shit, won't you flip that pot? Try and get rich, but you won't get lit. Try and get lit and you gon' get caught. What you point with the stick, she gon' blast that thought. Woke up, minute in the bag is gone. Oh, 20 for the ass, that's rock. Oh, bro, meet me in the chat, let's talk. Over, you ain't on the track list. Ho, chickies in the bagless dress. Made me down the video, I can dance with death. She got all the lip, make a red line wet. I'ma keep it cold on the track like strap. Make them wanna come back when they act like this. I ain't really in the past, but I pass my fist. Only get it for the cash when the gaslight lit. Say the fame for the kids, but they ain't like tricks. I get coolie, I get fire, God. I do shit to stick.
Dude, I can smell the vinegar in this. Can you?
I don't feel you, I don't feel
Yes.
I'm about to. Why am I so like?
Are you pumped? It's Saturday, bro. It's Saturday.
We're probably
bro.
gonna need an
It's
intermission.
Saturday.
Just, I know I'm ready to like.
I'm done.
Well.
Wow.
Shayla,
And oh, thanks. And this is.
I said what I said.
Yes. So, how has your week been?
Honestly,
I'm just playing. I really want to.
Am I like close enough?
I
Is
really
this
want to
close
do
enough?
ASMR.
Should I be close? Okay.
My week. Wow. I don't even know. I forgot. It was a thing that happened, and now I'm here. How was your week, Nikki?
So honestly, this week has been trash. And I'll tell you why it's been trash. Because I'm ready to literally burn down my place of employment. I won't get into details. But yeah, I'm definitely over all of that. And like you said, it's Saturday and not a Sunday, so I feel like
I know. You guys, it's
what
Saturday.
club are we hitting up?
It's-
Like, even though there's
I'm like-
no club.
I haven't been to a club in 84 years.
Dude, it's been forever, but I mean, I guess I'm okay. This is a happy place for me.
Honestly, I was just gonna say, like, on a positive note, like today, 2 of my friends and I, we went and we hung out at the river, and
Which I interrupted,
it
I
was,
recall.
and it's, you know, you're all good, and it was like really, really beautiful, and it made me think a lot about like what Ebony was saying when she was here, talking about like centering our joy, and like
Yeah.
that was a really, really healing space that I was in earlier today, and then I get to come and be in a space with you, and so I'm just having a great day today.
Oh, well, that's good. So it's actually kind of funny because I've actually been thinking about centering joy as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, like, I'm kind of worn out in the sense of like marches and like that type of activism, because I feel like we're dealing with like a lot of performative activism, which is tiring, like draining. Like, I mean, there's individuals, like a very, very few individuals who have asked me like how I'm doing. And I think that that's huge, like for the work that we do and the work that we're involved in, like for people to ask me if I'm okay, that's kind of like weird. Because people don't ask me that, right? I mean, outside of the normal,
Right.
like, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. I'm kind of in a space where I'm, like, over marches. I mean, we have one coming up this weekend, which we will obviously do, but
But
After
also,
that,
yeah, it like at what point do black people get to rest? At what point do black people get to take a break?
Absolutely.
You know?
I feel like at that point, I feel like I want to see like. I feel like marches for a lot of people and protests are very like limited actions. So they're involved in this action, but it's not like, to me, there's a lot of things that go behind marches, right?
Right.
But a lot of people who attend those marches, it's a performative activism. Like, it's show
And
up,
it's like-
go home, I did my part,
Exactly.
I attended. And I'm kind of in a space where I'm fucking sick of that.
It's like a very short-term thing.
Yeah, I'm just sick of it. I'm tired of it. I'm irritated by it. Like, I'm just... After this one, we've been holding people accountable.
dude.
But after that, I'm gonna start, like, it's probably not gonna be a good situation, because I'm gonna, like, hold people accountable outside of those environments, right? So it's cool for you to show up. It's cool, great. Yeah, these are all wonderful things. But at the end of the day, marches are kind of like a tip of an iceberg for me. Like, it draws attention. Yeah, if you're doing other things like, obviously, a lot of people don't know this. So when police have to, like, restation and, like, block you off, the city loses money. They have to pay for that shit.
Oh.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know that. So, if we're milking the city for money, great. But, like, this is, like, it's, like, it's, like, step one, right? So there's, like, a lot of things that I think that, like, we need to do outside of that. And I feel like, we get, I feel like I get a lot of, like, people are pissed, like,
About.
how do I say this? They want me to do all of this work, right? And when it's not convenient for them, they're kind of, like, in a space where they're upset about it.
Which, to be honest, like, is, like, way, like, the opposite of the point. It's the opposite of the point.
And I'm drained from that, right? I'm drained from, like, changing, like, locations and things like that, and people being like, how dare you? Like, my no appointment is on that day. Like,
Goodbye.
I am so sick and tired. So I'm just in a space where I'm just tired.
I just feel like, you know what I mean? If people are going to be so upset about that, like, maybe they should feel compelled to organize their own thing instead of always leaving it in the hands of one singular black woman to do everything.
Trash. But also at the same time, it's kind of scary because...
Listen, I can't.
Is it not scary? Like, ooh,
It's
who are we
horrifying.
putting...
Okay,
so
really
I get
quick,
it.
I just want to say, any white people watching, okay? I just, like, if you feel ever in your life that you are in any place to make demands of people of color who are organizing and who are allowing you to share space with them, you need to get your mind right. Okay, you are all the way outside of your mind and you need to get it the fuck together.
What?
Like, listen, Nikki, I have seen some things in the span
You don't even have to tell
of
me.
not even 24 hours today. I have seen some fucking shenanigans taking place.
There's a
And
lot
I
of
need
shenanigans.
white people,
but if you
okay?
say something, right,
listen.
you're
Listen,
the enemy.
I'm already ready. I'm already ready for someone to just be like, Shayla threatened me with violence because
Please, because
it's
I'll be like,
about
let's
to
get
there,
let's
bro.
fucking get it. Like, no, but that's the thing. We're always perceived. It's really weird because black women are put in this space where we're, like, boxed in, right? All our emotions are specifically, like, anger. So we're human beings. Our emotions consist of a variety of, like, aspects, right? But it's like, I have times where I'm just like, well, that's not cool. Why did you say that? This is wrong. And it's like, why are you so angry? And it's like, I could be angry
Damn,
right
dude.
now, but it's interesting. It's an interesting space, and I'm in a space right now where I'm, like, realizing that 2 days of self-care is not accurate.
No.
Right? So that's what the world expects. Like, when I'm like, self-care, and it's like 2 days.
Take a
Or-
nap and do your nails, and then
so
get
you
back
woke
on the
up, you
grind
took
or
a
whatever.
bath, right? So when are you actually going to do this work so we can attend it?
Yeah.
So I'm in an interesting space. Speaking of, here in the state of New Mexico, we're in a space with Corona. The Rona.
As the rest of the world is.
Rona
Or, well, maybe
2020.
not the rest of the world, because everyone's numbers are going down,
Well,
but ours.
Are they really?
In other countries, yeah, dude.
Okay, because I've heard that New
America's a
York is, like,
cesspool.
Okay, America as a whole. So, well, my thing is like masks. I feel like this is an important question because I feel like people automatically feel like we just like support whatever. Personally, I feel like wear your masks.
Yeah.
But so what brought this conversation to the forefront is there was like Michelle Lujan Grisham's, by the way, trash. But anyway, her whole COVID-19.
Her press conference.
Yes. And so there's people in there. And what I noticed is there's a lot of liberal people in there, like, assuming that people of color don't wear masks. So I brought up.
Dead.
Well, I told you. I brought
Goodbye.
up. So my experience with police is police are not wearing masks. Am I lying? Please tell me if I'm lying because
I don't know.
the police I've seen not fucking wearing masks. So, and then she's like, they're gonna address it, which is also problematic. Police are gonna like, we're laying down the law. And I'm just like, how do you expect anyone to follow a rule or guideline when you don't require like these individuals to do the same?
Right.
And then someone on that post who's like totally liberal or progressive was like, how dare you? Like, they do need to enforce this.
I just feel like I also feel
Problematic. I
like
need
there
to
are
move this. This is
people
not working.
who I'm dead. Nikki's sitting on a pillow.
I feel like I feel like I have some type of like medical condition.
Stop.
Okay, hopefully we're good.
I feel like people are like envisioning the world based on their own experiences, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I think because there's like a fine attached to it now, right? You'll get a $100 fine if you don't wear a mask, right? Which I personally
in court.
like.
Just kidding.
It, you know, when you think about like the Karens and shit who are like fighting people in Costco because they don't want to wear a mask, honestly, fine them, take their money. Yes, I love it, but I also think in the state of New Mexico and in Albuquerque there is a huge homeless population and a community of people
Absolutely.
who don't even have access to literally any of the things that we have access to, right? And so then
what does
if
that
they
look
don't
like
have
for
a
them,
mask,
right?
you're gonna fine them, dude. No, like that's fucking bullshit. First and foremost, and it's just like Michelle Lujan Grisham. Why don't you think about maybe like,
Sorry.
you know, footing the bill for the homeless population to have a place to lay their head at night
Or
or
even-
something,
yeah.
or giving them actual masks and not just like the one-time use disposable ones. Like do something instead of being like, well, we're just gonna fine everyone who doesn't wear a mask, because while yeah, that could be like ridiculous malicious white people, that could also be
But that's the
homeless
thing.
people who we're continuously like not giving a shit about.
But isn't that also like the thing, like the same restrictions for white people are not the same for marginalized groups of people? So I don't know if anyone's seen this, but there was like a whole complete like a story and like videos written about police like handing out masks to like white park goers, but in the same instance harassing and brutalizing black people and brown people who don't have masks on. So I mean, I think it's bullshit. I think
what a strange world.
yeah, right? Like I mean, is it that strange? But I think we're in a space where that's like complete bullshit, right? Like it's not accurate. It's not. When it comes to like money and collecting money, I just think it's just another way to like put people in a space who are not
Yeah.
able to like comply, quote unquote, with these regulations in a space where they're brutalized even more.
Exactly.
So
I think it's ridiculous. I think especially like
Trash.
in New Mexico, like you should really, if you're gonna be making policy and talking about things that affect the entire state, you should also be thinking about the huge population of people who literally don't even have homes. Like we can't
Absolutely.
just act like, well, we're just gonna make all these rules, you know, that really only are realistic in terms of people like
What does
myself
that
or
mean
people
for-
like you.
yeah.
What does it mean for everyone else? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So, just in case you didn't know, we wear masks.
We do wear masks. Where's mine?
Mine is
here.
Mine is in my bag, but
I
we
have
do.
Several assorted
Because I
masks,
think
but this one
people
goes with
assume, which was
everything.
kind of irritated me actually, that someone was like some liberal white woman with her hair.
I just
You know the
don't
type.
feel like-
Wait, do you know the type though? their hair's like orange and yellow and purple and blue
I
and
need
green.
you to leave me alone.
And yeah,
I can't.
No, because that's the type, and it was just like, how dare you? It's
Did
like,
she have bangs that was like all the way up to here?
bruh. So it's like white people who are like, we're in a space where like, yeah, Black Lives Matter, but if you are black on the street, you should be arrested, and there's no.
Dude, it's honestly
What's
crazy.
the correlation? Yeah, so this woman kind of pissed me off, and that's why I was like, first of all, bitch, you don't even know if I wear a fucking mask, so
You don't know my
stop.
life.
Exactly, you do not know my life. So I think that was a space that I was super agitated about. Like, how dare you
Sorry.
assume? And even in the same instance, you have a black, which goes back to performative activism. You have a Black Lives Matter profile cover, and you have the nerve to
Goodbye,
say,
dude.
you want me to comply with police. Honestly, fuck police.
Holy shit.
Like, don't approach me. I will have a mask on, but don't fucking approach me, because it's gonna go from 0 to 100.
Dude,
and
that's crazy. White people
Well,
are like on another level.
Exactly, and that's the thing. I don't have a here's the weird, not the weird thing. Here's the Nikki fact. I am one of those people. Once I start, it's done. Like, once I really start going,
That's it.
it's
a
just
wrap,
I'm
dude.
not like. And I've been in spaces with police where they're like, "Shut up! How? Don't talk to me!" And I'm just like, "What are you gonna do? You gonna shoot me?" So it's an interesting space to be in. But I just thought it was absolutely trash that this quote unquote progressive liberal white woman was like, "What do
Dude.
you wear a mask?
Real
Black Lives
talk.
Matter, but police should enforce this type of brutalization."
White people are just acting up. Like, white people, I think
Have a
we
seat,
should have
Karen. Have a
never
seat.
let white people use the internet. I think as long as I think
They're wildin'. They're absolutely wildin',
They're
right?
just like, as long as I repost, this like informational slide on Instagram, that's it, dude. I'm good. I can still talk crazy to brown people. Like, this shit is wild.
So I was actually watching a video which cracks me up. I mean, it's not funny, but so there's this video, this woman, they're in an apartment complex. This white woman comes up to this like black woman's door, and she's like banging on the door. She opens the door and she's like, "Well, how can I help you? Like, what do you need?" And she's like, just giving her like this very scary like death stare into
As
your
they
soul.
look.
Yeah, because white people are just like very
Demonic.
scary. Yes. Ugh, mutation. But anyway, she's just like staring at her like, and what she tells her is, "I need to talk to you." And the girl's like, "About what? Like, what are you doing here? Why are you in this space? Like, I don't know you, bye." And she's just staring at her like, "I need to talk to you." And but here's the thing. Here, my first response to any of that, you're catching hands. Like,
Talk to these hands, bro.
Dude, I am in this space, especially, this is like historical context where black people are put in a space where they have to like operate with some type of like, we can't come out of character because we're
Right.
already like
Because then-
criminalized
yeah.
and demonized. So like,
And then they're just like, "Oh, well, actually, she was yelling at this poor white woman."
I'm sorry, I'm not the one. And I think this is why whatever heavenly being, God, who knows, has not put me in those spaces. Because the last time I was in a
They
space
know.
with a Karen, I'll tell you this right now. She did 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 skips down a driveway. Like, so we're not doing that. And I think black people need to be in a space where we claim that, right? We claim that space, we claim that energy, we claim those types of things. And I think it's important that we claim those things because, like I said, we're always put in spaces where, like, we do the utmost standard, right?
Right.
We're held here and we go here. And I'm tired of being in spaces like that. Like, I'm a human being. Why is it okay for said person to shoot up schools and churches but a black person in their backyard pulling out their cell phone?
Yeah.
There's a lot of things we need to talk about in the sense of violence of black people. But as for now, Karens, get fucked.
Yeah.
Anyway, we wear masks, which we've established. Outside of that, so we had a very interesting conversation. Me and Shayla talk.
We do. We always have interesting conversations. I'm like, which one are you talking
Do we
about?
not? We're like,
Which one are you talking about? Which one are you talking about?
so I'm talking about this sense of like people of color claiming black identity.
Ooh.
Stop.
Some people about to get their feelings hurt, bro.
So, this is a thing, right? We deal with these things. We see
deal with
these
these
things. So, what am I talking about?
Rachel Dolezal is not just a white phenomenon, bro. She's not.
But this is, here's the thing. It's just so interesting. So people cannot deny the fact that black people are just fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Like, we're just the best. We are the best. But on top of that, it's like such another aspect of like trauma and hate to like claim that identity, but without the blackness of that, right?
Right.
So saying, Rachel,
Yeah.
or
like feeling like, how do I put this into words? Like, as if you can claim like the trauma of being a black person by like having a black partner.
So my question
or
is,
having black children based on you having children with a
well,
black
you know what my
person.
question is? Why?
Why?
Like, why do you want that? Why do you? I will say
Truly,
first,
why?
No, but I will say firsthand, being black is, dude, amazing. Like,
Yeah. But it's also
I wouldn't trade
very,
blackness.
very hard.
Exactly, but that's my thing is like it's kind of really fucking weird that people want to identify with that trauma and pain,
I know.
and they will.
And call themselves Afro-Latina and get perms and shit to
Bruh.
convince people that they're black.
I just want to bang my face. Okay, so I seen this video. I was following this guy. Side note. I literally just thought he was attractive, so that's why I followed him, which is rare. But anyway, that was the reasoning. There was no real reasoning behind following him. And yeah, it's cool. He's an Asian guy, like dancing, sure, fine. And then he posted these whack ass fucking videos.
Oh, dude.
Did you see this?
I just wanted
that
to
I
say-
shared. I was pissed. I was like, how fucking dare you?
So welcome to the world of K-pop. That's what K-pop
Okay, yes.
consists
Also,
of mainly.
well, also, I'll say my neighbors did this shit too. So, like, my brother was at my youngest brother, who is
a baby.
16. Yeah, a baby. 16, 17, somewhere around there. Dude, he's at my house and, like, the style. What's that style called where it's, like, cut, but it's, like, curly on the top? I don't know.
But they all have this.
So
they
yeah,
all have that
no.
hairstyle.
So the neighbor, who I think is Mexican indigenous mix, he like pops up and I apparently has a perm because my brother goes to school with him, and my brother's like, I'm weak, and I'm like, what are you talking about? So first of all, I clown this kid because he made a rap song. First of all, let me just say, I don't care if you're a kid, I will drag you. Don't do dumb shit, you will get dragged. So this kid, who's my neighbor, he's probably like 16, 17. He made a like rap song, and maybe I'll bring it in so you guys can hear it. It's trash.
We don't need that.
But
This
my
is a
thing was
positive
like,
space.
my thing was like, okay, trash, whatever. Like he's energy vibing himself. But then he decided to throw all of 5011 N-words in there, which was a cancellation, right? Automatically. And
a violation.
so just to be like, I don't know, politically correct, I like play his music early in the morning and just open my windows so his family
I'm
can hear
so
how ridiculous he sounds. But anyway, outside of that, this same kid like popped up one day with just like a perm, right? And my brother kills me because my brother's like, does he dead ass have a perm? And I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, dude, he got a perm, and he's like crying, right? Like crying, laughing. And I'm just like, why?
Dude, it's pretty wild.
Why?
when you
and
think about
this
it.
this directly correlates into the Asian pop culture, right? I was like
Korean
'cause-
K-pop.
So
in particular.
he's totally like a choreographer, right? And I was like, all right, I feel like. And then it's like a group of like 3 or 4 dudes. The one dude out is like killing it. I'm like, okay, I got this. And then another dude comes out and he dead ass has a full on. No, this shit is a. What do you call it? What is it called when like the guys put the like, not a toupee? Is that what's called?
Wait, you mean the stuff when they glue it onto their little male pattern baldness?
I can't do your
Is that what
you said? No, that's what it was. It was like one of those pieces that, and it was like dread. It was like a dread.
I can't.
And I'm
dude.
literally
sure.
look at this bullshit. This shit is fucking trash. And it's just like, I don't understand why people want to identify with the struggle. So, I mean, I get why you want to be black, because black people are the best.
But it's the same thing, right? Like everything in popular culture, in American popular culture, black people created, right? And so then in other countries, they're like, well, what is the thing in American popular culture? Oh, everything black people created. So we are trying to like, and as far, I mean, like, I don't know. I know someone who lives in Korea, and I remember they were always like everything is in English here in South Korea. Like everything is in English and everything is very much like Americanized. And so what is their image of
black people
of being of America? Yeah, it's black people, because black people make all of the music.
That's what I was gonna say. A stereotypical sense of what blackness is, right? So just
right, like the dancing and the sweatsuits,
exactly.
And the
dude,
R&B.
It's the same. Well, I've seen the same parallel with like Asian people and chola culture.
Yes, but I mean. But I don't want to. I mean, that's a whole other thing I could get into.
Yeah, it is. But what I'm saying is that it's an interesting space to operate, and it's just like I don't understand how people don't think that that's wrong. So here's the question I get, right? Mm-hmm. I'm like, trash. I will drag you. Stop. And then people are like, well, black women wear weaves.
Which is like, do you even know anything about oppression? Like,
okay, because you're completely off base, right? Like, this doesn't make any sense. This is not accurate.
Do you know anything about being forced to assimilate to whiteness? Like, do you
Why
even
are
know?
we having this conversation? It's not the same thing. There's a difference between cultural appropriation, cultural appreciation, and cultural assimilation.
It's 3 different words.
What did you say? Google is for free.
Google is for free,
Google's for free.
If you really wanted to know about it, you just look it up.
Google's for free. What's the difference between A and B? It's fairly fucking simple. So I'm in a space where
dictionary.
And also, it doesn't make black people any less when they straighten their hair.
Yeah. It's more so like, I just feel like straight hair isn't like a huge big deal. Like, it's a hairstyle. It is just one of the many amazing things that we can do with our hair.
Absolutely.
White people can't even curl their hair.
You get perms and it looks trash.
Real talk, when I was in high school, there was this girl, this was like my senior year.
Don't even get me.
I'm telling you. So my whole childhood, well, not my whole childhood, but all of when I was in high school, I straightened my hair up until senior year. And when I started wearing my hair natural, there was this one girl. This was in my theater class. I was in theater, but there was this girl.
I was too. That ain't the shame. Y'all better recognize.
I wasn't like a creepy theater kid. But so,
what is creepy? Because I think
you would know. I don't watch Glee, but I feel like the character Rachel Berry, like she would be like,
she's a psycho.
Yeah,
for sure, and she's trash, and also known for making black actresses miserable.
We could go in on that girl.
So what's the black girl's name in that show?
I don't watch that show.
Okay,
I don't know shit about that show. So I just know Naya Rivera.
No, actually, did you hear? Okay, so a sidetrack, sorry.
Yeah.
Did you hear about Naya Rivera?
Yes, of course I did.
So I absolutely hope that they find her and she's okay. But outside of that, I don't.
Yeah, I don't know shit about Glee. Like,
So the black girl in that.
She dragged Lea Michele.
Rachel
Berry.
Dragged her. Thank you. On Twitter, in real life, she could never out. I don't know why they put her in a space where, she's Jewish and she can out sing. She could never.
But that was like the point of the character, was to be annoying.
No, but what I'm saying is they always put Rachel Berry in a space where she could out sing.
Her name's Lea Michele.
Well,
it doesn't matter what her name is.
Who cares? Trash. They always put her in his space, and I'll tell you, I've seen Glee multitude of times.
Oh shit, really?
I love Glee. I also hate Glee, but I've seen Glee. Let's not. The fact that I can't remember this girl's name is shame on me. But yeah,
I love Glee, but I don't know them.
No, I'm telling, because I'm like the type of person who watches the show, and if it's boring to me, I fast forward. But I'll tell you right now, I fast forwarded more times on Rachel Berry than the black girl in that. And the fact that they put, which sounds horrible, but the fact that they put them in a space of competition is trash, because clearly she don't have the vocals.
She doesn't have the range.
It's trash. Stop. But apparently we're supposed to sympathize and empathize because she's Jewish. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut
I'm like,
you
that's a
off.
whole other story.
It is.
But so basically, right, this girl was like, oh my God, Shayla, I love your hair. Like, your hair is so amazing, blah, blah, blah. Like, why don't you wear it like this all the time?
do
Za, za, za. And I was like, yeah, thank you. Oh my gosh. And she was like, I just love your hair. Literally the next day, bro, this girl came in with a perm and everyone was like, oh my God, Ashley, we love your hair. And I was like, what the fuck? This shit is crazy, bro. Why is Ashley
This shit is crazy.
Ashley trying to like single white female me or some shit by stealing my hair?
No.
So, like,
See, when I was younger, I hated my hair.
yeah.
I think this
Same.
is a natural
Yeah.
common theme. And that's solely based around the fact that that's not the norm. That's not the normal. But it's crazy now because
You said, look at my hair.
everyone is in love with this hair, is in love with curly hair, right? So it's weird to see those dynamics and how they switch because I remember being a kid and literally dead ass like birthdays, holidays, like just want one relaxer. One. And my mom was like, girl,
You were way more realistic
you-
about it than I was.
No.
I was like hoping that one day I would just wake up with straight hair. Like,
That's the thing too, is like you're in a space where that's the so I went to school with a lot of white kids. So like white girls are like, dude, I got picked on and I'll tell you this much. That did not last long. Like, I'm the type of person, I'm like, so what, Becky, what's really good, though? Like, so it's an interesting space to operate. But, yeah, as a kid, I totally, absolutely was not okay with, like, curly hair. Mm-hmm. I wanted straight hair so bad, and my mom was just in a space where she was like, try again in a year, girl.
Yeah.
You know? But as far as relating to oppression in that sort of sense,
they don't. They don't relate to oppression.
Stop lying about being black.
Period. And,
I have a list.
Like I said, like people coming out of the woodwork to be like, I'm Afro Latina, and then you see
You're Afro Latina. Just so you know.
Shut up. You see their parents, and there's no Afro anything anywhere, bro.
But that's my thing. And well, here's the bigger question: why is this appropriate to society?
Well,
why are people like, she's black, and I'm like, but bitch, where?
Right, but where?
Where? And I'm not here to question people's identities at all.
I think that's what it is.
Well, here's the thing.
That's why, like, with Rachel Dolezal, like, people just let her do her thing for fucking how long?
And her parents, sorry. Her
and
parents
then it
were
took
like,
years for her parents to be like, we are her
she
parents.
is not an African American
like, that
woman.
shit is wild. Like, how does that shit happen? And I just feel like it's like people like her.
Y'all
and
hate
like,
black people so much though.
Dude.
But y'all cannot.
But it's people like her and people like other people in the community who claim to be Afro Latina, who like are fucking it up for like actual really, really light skinned black people. Actual Afro Latinas like you and myself. Like,
I'll tell you right now. I moved through this world as a black woman, but at the same time, that's still my identity. Mm-hmm. That's still something that I deal with and operate through. And I'm just kind of in a space where I'm like super annoyed. Like, stop. And we have people here locally who are liars.
Perpetrators.
And that's my thing. Like, can people be more logical, and can you be more like, especially black people, can you be more in a space
discerning.
Where you're aware? Thank you. Because I'm trying to figure out how people are sliding through.
Yeah.
And first of all, getting a perm, let's talk about it. So if you say you're black, depending on, I guess, situation, I'm a questionable individual in any sense, in the sense, we examine this. So you say you're black, right? Sure, cool, whatever. But we have to acknowledge that being in senses of like blackness, let's make an equivalency here, right? So I am actually indigenous. a lot of indigenous blood. But the world doesn't see me as that. It doesn't take away from my identity personally for me, but I don't move through the world in that space, right? I don't operate in that space. I don't feel like...
Right, and from what I know, blood quantum doesn't mean anything.
Thank you. I'm not in a space where I'm having those feelings and emotions, and people, that's a struggle that I deal with, right? My movement through the world is as a Black woman. So what I will say, I totally feel uncomfortable claiming indigenous identity in a public aspect, right? So like missing murdered indigenous women, being in a space where I'm like, yeah, like my people, like let's hit a powwow. Like no, because that's not my realistic
You're like,
identity.
That's just not your life.
Excuse me, I burped. Absolutely not. So it's kind of like frustrating. But let me just say, if your grandparents, your great-great-grandparents, your family way, way back in 1736 is Black, shut the fuck up. Little bitch, shut the fuck up.
What? Honestly though, but
I cannot.
But again, dude, I also am like very afraid for like my children knowing that they're gonna be like only like a teeny tiny bit Black and a teeny tiny bit Puerto Rican and a teeny tiny bit Mexican and a teeny tiny bit Lebanese.
Well, here's the interesting aspect. So me and Rylan, who music is provided by today, had this conversation, right?
He's in the corner.
And he's in the corner. So I'm actually in a weird space, and me and Rylan talked about this. Like, I think you're very lucky in the sense to be in a relationship with an individual who's not like a Black man, solid, or a Black woman, like solid.
That's true. And
that's the thing, is I've realized that like, so say by accident, I am impregnated by a white man. My kid's gonna be Black as hell.
You said by accident. I'm so dead. I can't
but literally, because I'm in this space where I realize like it's hard to be in a relationship with individuals who don't see you as a human being.
Right.
Right. And how exhausting is it to constantly and consistently like explain to them, well, this is what it looks like for me. And
right.
I'm just,
this is what my life is
Well,
like.
at this point, I'm just kind of in a space I'm not interested in that. Like,
that's real.
I want to have brown or Black children, regardless. I mean, that's why I said by accident.
Yeah.
But regardless, they're going to be Black kids.
Yeah. I was talking to my parents about this, and my dad was like, he was just like, it literally does not matter how light your kids come out. It doesn't matter if they're albino. Like, as long as they know that like deep in their heart and in their roots is Black and brown people, that's all that matters. And I was like,
and that's,
you're right. Oh my God,
dude,
you're right.
I also think about that though in the sense of like a white partner, like, they will have absolutely no fucking say.
If you know me, you know what my boyfriend looks like. He's very white passing, but like, it's honest. He's kind of like an anomaly because no one else in his family looks like that. Like no one else in his family looks like him, so it's weird. But it's just like he's very much like about like his history and his culture and like where his parents came from. And yeah, like it's important for me that our children know that like there's a lot of like culture and history on his side as well as on my side, and that they take in all of those things.
Well, I think my thing is,
but that they're not out here like
exactly
like putting themselves above dark-skinned Black people.
Not gonna happen. That's my thing though too, is like if I so happen to have a child with a white individual, dude, they're gonna be the most pro-Black, like,
yeah,
pro-brown, like that's just gonna be a thing. And I don't want to be in a space where I'm arguing about that. Like,
yes,
get the fuck out of here. Yes. I don't fucking care. And I think that's
if you don't get it, we're not having babies.
Well, here's the thing. So I've dated white guys.
So we've all been there.
Let me just like pull this in for a second. And what I've realized, it's so tiring. What I've realized is that I've been put in spaces where I'm like totally like agree to disagree, and I'm in a space in my life where I'm like,
we can't do that, bro. Listen, we getting way too old for agreeing to disagree about shit.
And I'll tell you right now, my first question is like, I don't lead in a space of like, I'm literally like, who the fuck are you? What are your intentions? What Black people do you know? How are they involved in your life, right?
Right.
I'm not dealing. Don't call me your bitch ass ebony queen. Stop. This shit is so.
We're not from Ethiopia.
Bruh, like I'm so done when people are like, "You're so exotic." First of all,
Nubian queen.
but here's the thing. Stop. It is gross. So here's the thing about like exoticness, quote unquote. So people say I'm exotic because I'm lighter complected, right? But here's the thing. There's black people all around the fucking world. So wouldn't they?
wild.
But that's the thing too, is wouldn't they be considered exotic? There's blackness
dude.
all around the world.
Also,
I'm not
wait,
for
really quick. If you're just like,
I'm not for that.
if
I'm not like
you're
do not call people
If you're
exotic.
claiming to be Afro-Latina to like make yourself more like
Once again, lies.
desirable or whatever, that's hella fucking gross. Like
You're
ew.
nasty.
Get it the
You're
fuck
canceled.
together. Bro. Go
That's
to therapy.
gross.
Have you considered therapy?
Talk about it. Talk about it. No, because that shit is gross, right? And I'm sure you've dealt with that. I personally dealt with that. This like conversation about like how, oh, dude, I can't even tell you how many conversations.
I'm just
I tell
like-
people all the time. No, I'll tell you right now. When people are like, "You're exotic," I'm like, "Do I look like a fucking bird?
True.
Am I a large body of water?
While I am a beautiful flower,
Am I a tree?
I was born in the States.
Let me tell you, but that's the thing too, is you have these dusty ass Negroes.
Listen, it ain't just them though.
No, but who will
Men.
say they're like
It is men.
Thank you, thank you. This is also true and also
It's a
accurate.
problem of men.
But that's the thing too, is like they're like, she's exotic. I'm like, bruh, she's from Wisconsin.
I'm dead.
Like what?
Like, what are you talking about?
She's from Nebraska.
Dude, I
She
can't
is
handle
from
it.
Ohio. Like, that's the thing, though. It's a trivialized sense of like what blackness is and how that looks and what is acceptable, right? To me, I've realized, like I said, at the end of the day, any child that I produce, I'll tell you right now, one, I'm naming my child. So this is actually a side conversation, but I've already talked about this. You don't have any say in the child's name. I don't give to bruh.
dead.
If I am popping that little bitch out, I am fucking naming that child. And I think people get upset by that, but at this point I don't care.
Right.
Like,
Those are your rules. That's fine.
you're sitting in the back gazing while I'm being ripped apart.
Literally.
So
Pushing
if
out
I want to
a
name
tiny
my
human.
fucking kid Pignon, that's gonna be
Shut
the name.
the fuck
It
up.
will not, obviously. But well, I think men have this space where they feel like they can like. And why I bring this up, I have friends who are like, they hate their children's names, but they're like, well, my husband, my boyfriend.
Stop.
Fuck them. Dead. I
Real
don't
talk,
fucking care.
I
Like,
just want to say my mom was going to name me Sydney.
oh, I hate a Sydney.
I would have,
But I wouldn't.
feel like,
What's the spelling look like?
I don't know. It would have just been a regular Sydney, I guess. I
So-
feel like I vibe with Sydney, but the story differs
No, it's not a
about
horrible-
like me being named Shayla. Like my mom was like, well, actually,
Well,
I
what
came up
was
with
Shayla?
that. Shayla was just some shit they found in a baby book, bro.
Let me tell you, I love this because let me tell you what my mom was gonna name me. My mom was actually gonna name me Giovanni.
Oh, that's a bomb ass
No,
name, though.
no, hell motherfucking no.
What?
Because when I was in elementary school,
Gio?
there was a bitch who bullied me and her name was Giovanni. And let me
How
say,
many Giovannis? We from a different time. You went to
Not
school
very-
with like
but-
Giovannis. I went to school with Genesis. Like if your name wasn't Genesis in El Paso,
you're
like
done.
who even
It's
were you?
canceled.
Like,
You're not. But that's the thing though. Like, I think I'm traumatized by that because I'm glad I did not. So, side note, Nikki is a nickname.
right.
Yes,
Right.
which you will never ever know and never figure out. Don't even ask me. But also on top, I mean, search it up. I don't care. But I think I'm like traumatized by this name because there was a girl in elementary school who picked on me, which was so problematic because this girl was brown and on top of that, she had a stuttering. She stuttered. And so this bitch would like bully me all the time. And I just kept thinking to myself, if my name was Giovanni and her name was Giovanni,
That would have, yeah, that
it's
would
gonna be the clash of Giovanni's. And I'm never gonna forgive myself about being named a Giovanni. I'm never gonna be comfortable with that.
Yeah,
so
that's real.
that was absolutely garbage. I'm not cool with that. I didn't want that. So I mean I'm okay with my name. I like my name.
Yeah. No,
My-
you have a good name.
Government name.
I'm dead.
But I also like Nikki too.
Yeah.
And it's Nikki. because I don't understand the like problematic sense of spelling. It's not Nicky. Stop it. That's a word. That's the like.
That's like a white man's nickname. Like that's.
His name's Nicholas. We call him Nicky. Stop. It's so simple. Literally, only one letter is different. The end.
2 letters.
This is 2 I's and 2 K's. Those are the same.
No, because it's Nicky.
No, not mine. Oh,
No,
I'm
but
not
I'm saying,
saying.
like,
Yes,
oh,
that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Struggle with that, but mine's is not that difficult. Mine's is like,
yours is simple.
So,
That's my sister's nickname too, and her
Really?
name is not anything with Nikki in it.
Well, that's the thing too. Is people? I guess I don't get it. I've never like understood it, and I've never been in a space where I'm like, I get it. But apparently, there's specific names that like Nikki makes sense with.
Right.
And my government name is one of those names that it sometimes does and sometimes doesn't.
Interesting. Yeah,
I don't know. Don't
like
care.
literally my sister's name, the first 2 letters are N and I, and then the rest is not at all like the name Mickey. I don't know why we started calling
weird.
her
It's
that.
a weird. It is
she's kind of stuck with it at this point.
weird sense I need to be.
Oh, is it intermission time?
I don't know. Can we? Is that possible? No.
Oh.
A hand. We have a multitude. Well, maybe not a multitude of topics, but so our next conversation was dealing with
Non-monogamous relationships.
what do we call that?
A bunch of different things.
Okay.
It could also be called polyamory.
So I don't know if I should like.
Should we pause
I
and
feel
then
like we
intermission
should-
and then
I
jump
don't
back into
wanna,
it?
Like, yeah, I gotta me.
We'll be back.
We'll be back. So,
Miles witness, crowds are roaring, people dead, and I'ma let them out. I was just a child, wasn't down with it. I get down to business, down to minutes, tracks, lick 'em, boy. I can move a mountain with it, pound a blizzard, throw a stony down in minutes. Now I'm feeling down with sickness, boy.
I need a bag like this with a badass bitch. Cut the cash, then dip, I'm a savage. Racks in the middle with a fat ass clip. Blow the cap, hit a lick like Aladdin. Said black like a widow with a bright ass head. When I ignite this spliff, it's a dragon. Need that, need this, run it back real quick. When I bust this clip, isn't backwards. Said kids, don't fuck with daddy if he a bitch. Beating up on your cousin, pop a bottle onto his head. If you buzzing off a couple, you dropping Jimmy instead. Like a rip in his leg, sticking his dame. With the dick and that bitch is never the same. Why you tripping, live or die, and you gotta thrive on the pains. All this high, darker the brighter inside the brain. Pop from the line, the lottery telling you who to blame. This a game, listen, dominoes are falling in the rain. Wicked, Papa said they gotta make a change. Missing, better Papa gotta get a name. What you did, you get a lane. What you whipping to the part-time, tryna fuck on the bitches during the night shift. Got you tabbing the bitches up like an archive cavity. You knew you was a jet entering the dark side. Let it rely, roll to the bitches alive. Shit, cut the bag, hit the side, uppercut, lay it down on the ground, roll it up. Shit, weigh it out, breathe it in, pulling over, paying out, make a flip, run around. Shit, daddy bitches, I ain't involved in any of the events and the clip to keep on talking about. Shit, I'm gonna dominate y'all when the carnage, I put them in cages like it's ice pound. Demons follow them in the deepest the hollows, just a piece of the puzzle. You gotta keep with the hustle to send it. Needle the bubble, I need a meal and butter. Had cheaper guns in the summer defending. Never done with the cases. When they tapping the teams, motherfuckers are ready. You ain't going to prison. They want you in the pavement. Mathematics, bitch. I need a bag like this with a badass bitch. Cut the cash, then dip. I'm a savage. Racks in the middle with a fat ass clip. Blow the cap, hit a lick like Aladdin. Said black like a widow with a bright ass head. When I ignite this spliff, it's a dragon. Need that, need this, run it back real quick. When I bust this clip, isn't backwards. I could turn the shooter to a lover, daddy shooter wanna rub you in the round for your mother, make a move. How you gon' stand around in the gutter and complain about the food, real subtle. Think I need to come up, I've been regurgitating the butter. 54 verse, give me full. Chopper in the sermon in the venue, let a whopper hit the vermin in the room. Piggy shot him on the news. Little nigga playing with the news. Throw a nigga rope and let it loose, left him hanging. Journey in the ma'am, this is land of the hated. You hanging from a cable. Fit you in the frame, it convince you it's 40 acres. I don't want this cable, I rip the cord, the label. Glitching out the matrix, can't endorse the hatred for a placement. Candle scorch and gather in the basement. Take you towards the reinforced soul, wait and get spraying, nigga. Beat the case, no witness, so let the K hit him. Ain't a jab to the chin, I bury you deep with the victim. I'm in it, y'all think you lifted, you in the maze with us. Back and forth in the distance, I don't have an ounce of forgiveness. Need that shit, read the scripture, I'm in it. I need to grip my homie says, so pat me a pistol. They shoot you quick and you be drowning in the mission. You the defendant, ain't it said you for the youth, but extended clips for the new edition. New Testament
living, got you waiting for a newer living. If they sentence a minute, if there was the brighter day. I need my money in minted bundles and pen and pay. You looking down saying, give me my penny to play with me, get my chains, nigga, pay up. But you catch a fade, got grown, got my weight up. I don't need a spot for a nigga, get to pay up. I'm knocked straight up, I pop way up. The drop, listen, I need
a bag like this with a badass bitch. Cut the cash, then dip, I'm a savage. Racks in the middle with a fat ass clip. Load a cap, hit a lick like Aladdin. Said black like a widow with a bright ass head. When I ignite this spliff, it's a dragon. Need that, need this, run it back real quick. When I bust this clip, isn't backwards. Said.
Jersey intro. I'm back. You bitch. Oh, you bitch. Ain't one time I ain't got that. We can go
I get coolie, I get fire, God. I do shit to stick, you ain't got eyes. I don't feel you, I don't feel your bars. Time is real, though I feel like pushing the odor over the back. They're trying to get me a relapse. The cotton picking pockets to find how many fit in the back. I ain't with it, I whip the kitty. I ain't with indecision, you been witty with it, the bitty. Either over his head or we mobbing under a ceiling. They wanted me to conceal it, but I'ma keep it the realest. I've been a doozy, you snoozing on me. If you wanna feel it, avoid the fear of losing the moment. Be bolder than broken for pose on the upper. Enchiladas for supper, what my mama could sum up. Prima donna, you joking, you a diamond a dozen. We be breathing fire with dragons, you go die in the dungeon. You get high on assumption, you trying to subject, you fly in the bucket. And we ain't even trying to run it. He buying a bum with a visa, he lying or something. The guy in the trunk with a beat, he dying with I get coolie, I get fire, God. I do shit to stick, you ain't got eyes. I don't feel you, I don't feel your bars. Time is real, though I ain't feel like dumb broke shit. Won't you flip that pot? Try and get rich, but you won't get lit. Try and get lit and you gon' get caught. When she point with the stick, she gon' blast that thought. Woke up, minute in the bag is gone. Oh, 20 for the ass, that's rock. Oh, bruh, meet me in the chat, let's talk. Over, you ain't on the track list. Ho, chickies in the bagless dress. Made me down the video, I can dance with death. She got all the lip, make a red line wet. I'ma keep it cold on the track like strap. Make them wanna come back when they act like this. I ain't really in the past, but I pass my fist. Only get it for the cash when the gaslight list. Say the fame for the kids, but they ain't like tricks. I get coolie, I get fire, God. I do shit to stick, you ain't got eyes. I don't feel you, I don't feel your bars. Time is real, though I ain't feel like yeah, go. This shit too clean. Walking the bitch like who's he? Top of a bitch like groupie. Jump when it hit 1, 2, 3. Poppin', burning daylight in the AM and it's still knocking. I smoke weed like every day and bitch I'm still coughing. I ain't hearing what you saying, bitch I'm still talking. Rockin', throw it back, poppin'. Contraband, renegade, bringing me back to the old days. Smoking on gas to the cold train, burning dog crap on your doorway. You would get trashed in the hallway. Now you on crack, say you be straight, then why you go back? Hit the home plate, then why you run left? And I don't want drama, but I'ma want facts. And the bitch will give me sprung, but I don't want live. And I don't want love, but I'ma want sex. I could put the pussy on like honey on bed, like number on check. When the money go out, and it come right back. But the mood goes south, but the moonlight lit. It's a fucked up life, but that's all I live. Cause I found my people in the dark like this. Now we bright like 6, in the morning get lit. In the night don't quit, getting turned bitch quick. Putting 20 on 10 with a ride like this. Tell the money on 10 with the mind like this. Rocking a bitch like Uzi. Top of a bitch like groupie. Jump when it hit 1, 2, 3. Pop it. Burning daylight in the AM and it's still knocking. I smoke weed like every day and bitch I'm still coughing. I ain't hearing what you saying, bitch I'm still talking. Rocking, throw it back, pop it. Eat it when I get it, now the beats is out the kitchen and I'm cooking up a digit every time I count a grit. Putting all my data on the internet, anatomy is similar to Adam and Eve, original sin. If you want to battle with the simile, I saddle on the beat like it was added, cause you know I let it ring. And I ain't playing video games, you quit the car when you popping at me. Is you talking to me, or is you talking to she? I'm the older the Z, yeah your bitch take a picture cause you know I'm a beast. And my drip like a picture that be playing the bass. And I ain't saving the face, now I'm making a team. I got recipe, mixed like ecstasy, she sit next to me, it's my destiny. See you rest in peace, I'ma bless the Cooper, set the mover. Press your Uzi, wet your Gucci. Test the newbie, fresh your newbies. Fresh your movie, sets the music when I do it how I want it. It's some news and I ain't about it. In seclusion with my thoughts, don't accuse me, I'm psychotic. Won't you prove it? I'm retarded. I ain't leash when I ain't had it. I ain't human, I ain't modest. That's the boundary.
We're just a bit extra.
Just a little bit. It's a Leo and a Virgo, like.
Bruh, okay, so we just Googled this shit on our way over here. Me and Jada.
Wait, we haven't started, have we? Oh my god,
that's what I figured.
I'm dead.
So me and Jada Pinkett Smith have a matching birthdays.
I'm surprised that she's a Virgo, honestly.
Are you? Why? Am I?
Because
what is the?
Honestly, so I don't know about Jada. I really don't be following the Smiths like that.
I don't either,
But based on recent things, I thought she would have been an air sign or
events.
like a Scorpio or some shit.
Cause you know Scorpios, they got
You
a
don't
lot
care
of
about
work.
anyone, okay?
What are air signs? What are the air signs?
Trash. No.
Accurate. I'm not an
Trash,
earth sign.
Boo boo, mess. Those are the
Hot
signs.
garbage.
Hot garbage. Those are the air signs. No, it's Aquarius.
So many people are gonna be so sad.
I will tell you right now. I don't.
'Cause you're
I really,
a Leo, right?
I'm a Leo. I'm a sensitive ass person, and so I don't fuck with Libras.
You don't seem so sensitive to me.
My Cancer is rising. Listen, I could go full Walter Mercado, okay,
Okay,
but
but you don't seem. That's the thing, though. You don't seem sensitive to me. Like sensitive in the sense of like where it's uncontrollable.
you have no idea.
Really?
I'm like,
Well,
I'm like big baby.
I can't. Here's the thing. I'm a Virgo, and I can't deal with other Virgos.
That's real.
But that's because I'm just the best.
I used to really love Virgos, and then I got burned by a Virgo, and so I was like, you know what?
I hope I'm better. I'm not
You
a
are.
Jada.
Honestly, it was a Virgo Scorpio rising, and so you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Virgo, Scorpio rising, Virgo moon. I just, things like there was so many red flags, and I was just like,
No,
I love the color red. It's
So I'll
great.
tell you, heck no. I will never. Okay, I'll tell you that right now. Geminis, Tauruses, and Pisces.
Really?
Get the
Geminis,
fuck
I feel you. Tauruses,
trash. Pisces,
Pisces, I can't deal with
cannot.
Pisces like
It's
that.
really interesting. So, all the people I've dated are like a Gemini, a Taurus, or a Pisces.
You hate
And,
yourself.
Do I really though?
You must. You must.
But what I realized is we're not compatible on any. And here's the thing: I have friends who are those same signs. I mean, doesn't work out for the best, but I'm more likely to still continue a relationship with like friends outside of like romantic. Dude, if you're a Gemini, a Taurus, or a Pisces, and I like you, just let it go. I don't.
You're blessed.
I really don't want
Okay.
you. Like, I really, and that's the thing. It's so.
You said I don't want you.
I don't.
Oh my
It's
God.
weird. Why is it that I have an attraction to these people all the
Well,
time?
I know. I remember I saw this thing because like this like Virgo Pisces like power struggle I've seen played out in many different instances with many different Virgos who are pursuing Pisces and they're just like they don't understand me. Blah, 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 blah. So
I don't pursue no one, which is a lie. It is a lie. But what I will say now is what I know.
so Jada is a Virgo.
Thank you. So me and her are on the same level in the sense of an entanglement. So
I'm just like
don't get caught up because
entanglement. Have you ever been in an entanglement?
I have.
Have you ever been the entangled person?
Ugh, not really. I mean, it's up to whoever and whatever is watching or whatever that situation looks like. I will say, Jada's behaviors are not a reflection of myself.
You said we don't claim her. We don't know her.
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not the type of person. I'm a very like. I think that's why you can't like group specifically into that sense, right? Because I'm the type of person, I'm kind of like, especially when it has to do with like relationships, I'm pretty like straightforward. So yeah, I'm not the type of person who likes to like, well, I'm kind of feeling this way, but I'm literally like, this is what I'm feeling. This is how, like, how are we interacting? What does that mean? Yeah.
Which is important in terms of non-monogamous relationships.
Some people don't like it.
And by some people, we mean men.
Pisces, Tauruses, and Geminis.
And them. And them.
Okay. Outside of this, we were talking about
being non-monogamous. Yeah.
What does this look like? How does it feel?
Right.
Is this fun?
Right.
Is it not fun?
Is it not fun?
Do I want to lend my husband out? Do I want to fight someone?
Is there trust? Is there
I think
boundaries?
Okay. So a specific point that I think is important is trust.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much do you have to trust someone to have a whole other situationship with someone else?
Right. And also, like, not break your heart and not fuck you over and not lie to you.
So what happens when that happens?
That ain't me.
Oh, my bad. My bad. Just kidding. Okay. So what happens when that happens?
Listen. Okay. So especially like within like the last couple of days.
Talk about experience.
Well, so I'll say in the last couple of days, I've heard a lot of instances where the men in the relationship are like, well, I'm doing whatever I want and I'm just not going to tell my girlfriend. And that's fucking disgusting. If that's the type of person that you are, you can fuck yourself.
Okay,
period.
wait, you're going to...
Yeah, like they're just doing their thing and they're just like, yeah, you know, like I'll tell my girlfriend whenever. And it's like, that's really gross.
That's called cheating.
That's called cheating.
That's called lying.
Fuck you.
That's called you're trash.
You're trash. But so, based on experience, I will say, my boyfriend's watching this. Hi, babe.
You're about to get dragged. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
So my boyfriend and I, we've been together for 3 years. We've been long distance for basically like 2.5 years. Because I said a man isn't going to stop me from doing whatever I want to do. So I moved to Albuquerque.
Share without me.
That's true. It was... Good things came from it. But so, you know, it was something that he had mentioned to me that he was interested in. And so when I moved away, I was like, well, why don't we really try this? Like, why don't we really try to be in an open relationship?
I just love you.
No,
can I say, I literally admire you because... Thank you. Do you see my face while you're talking? No, I'm like...
But so, I will say, I mean, it's you know what I mean? It's a process, right? It's an ongoing process. There's a lot of communication, like, that doesn't end. It goes on. And it's, you know, learning about what we are comfortable with and what we decide that we're no longer comfortable with and talking about that and creating boundaries and reestablishing those boundaries or establishing new boundaries. And it's just like always a conversation. And so, like, me and my boyfriend are great. We are doing our thing. I just want to also say, like, my boyfriend I love very, very much because he does not fetishize me. He doesn't fetishize me for being light-skinned. He doesn't fetishize me for being mixed. He doesn't fetishize me for being queer, which has happened to me. And so, like, I just love my boyfriend, and I just want to shout him out because I fucking love him. Yeah.
Respect. I cannot say that I am honored in this sense. But what I can say is my experiences with white men and white passing men. Hot garbage. But when I think about garbage, I wish I had like a...
Just click your nails, bro.
Like some type of like crackling. Hot garbage. But, no. Well, I think I've been like a third piece.
Bro.
in a lot of no, but not to the extent that you would think. I'm an angel.
Nikki is wholesome.
I am. I'm like. So what is this? Who is that? That's your Annie? No, that's my wife. I gotta go. Here's my thing. So I feel like this past episode we talked about Tinder. Right?
Yes.
And a lot of people on Tinder, a lot of men on Tinder have this like open relationship, right? And they're in this space where they're like, nice hair, blue eyes, tight pants. I'm on here. I'm married, but my wife knows I'm on here. And it's like,
Does she though?
it's like a blink. Like, if you can hear that, it's like a blink. And only saying, like, why though? Like, and I feel like I'm in these situations with, like, I'm not interested in your wife. So when I talk about any sense of, like, interaction, like, hi, sir, you're handsome. I'm attracted to you. I don't want to be your sister wife or your sister man. I don't want any time. And I feel like that's a lot of, do not.
No, but it's real. But
I
it's
feel
real,
like
but
that's a lot
like,
of the space, right?
Men, I think, take
It's a-
advantage of that.
It's a
They take advantage of like their, female partners being down to try something out just so that like they can get their dick wet, basically.
And we talked about this. So I feel like that's a lot of the sense of like polyamory here in Albuquerque. Is that why do you feel, I don't know. I feel, is it weird that I feel like a comfortable space would just be like,
Fully transparent.
yeah, well, not in the sense of like fully, I don't know.
Because they can't even do that.
how
They can't even fucking be transparent about this shit.
So my question is, how do you feel about like, okay, so for example, say a man approaches you and it's like, oh yes, love you, like you get along, like would you prefer them to be like, by the way, I'm married with several kids?
Yeah, I would prefer that they say that like right off the bat so that like I can assess how I want to move forward.
Okay.
Like whenever, and it's not like it's happened a whole lot because no one in Albuquerque fucking likes me. Okay, but
Which
whenever,
is okay. Can I say?
but
I have to adjust this just to say.
whenever
makes
I've been
no sense. Literally
I have a
makes
great
no sense.
personality.
Why do you like Becky's and Karen's? What are you talking? Okay.
But so whenever I've been in situations where people have approached me, I'm always like, hey, so like just so you know, like before we go any further, I have a boyfriend, I'm in an open relationship, and so then like I mean they can determine if they want to continue or if they feel uncomfortable, which is fine. Like if you don't want to fuck with me after that, then like that's cool too.
That's
like
on
that's
you,
totally
Lou.
valid. So that's why like I, like, for me, and for the way that my relationship is set up, like, I'm totally transparent with folks. Some people are like, I don't know about that.
It
and that's fine.
depends.
Shit.
No.
It's okay.
Dun,
it just came
dun,
off.
dun.
But other people are like, word. But also, like, and again, right, it's different for everyone, but I'm not really looking to, like, have any, like, deep, meaningful,
Thank you.
like, connections with
Maybe
people.
that's my thing.
You know what I mean?
So-
like I'm in love with a person, and that's wonderful.
Why am I laughing? Because
But I'm also like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm a woman. I have needs, bro. So like, like whoever is trying to meet those needs, and that's wonderful too. And we can just be like, like friends and buddies and homies and pals. And you can still do whatever it is that you got to do. You know?
So maybe that's my issue. Is I'm always in these spaces where it's like really, really weird. And by weird, I mean like, I'm like, all right, cool. I know you got wife and kids. I'm not a stepmom. You're welcome. You're welcome. You don't want to be.
You said I'm not a babysitter.
So it's like weird because I feel like I'm in spaces where they're like, well, have you met my. So a part of this process, like this was phase 1. Phase 2 is you meeting my wife. And I'm just like, skirt.
Right.
I'm not meeting anyone's wife.
And that's
like,
a valid boundary to establish.
and they get in a space where they're like weird. They're just like, well, I don't know why you don't want to have this interaction with. And I'm just like, but I don't care about your wife.
You're like, I'm not dating her.
Like, what do you? But that's the point in being like, I feel like there's a weird space where like men want this like fantasy
Of
not
sister wives, bro.
Steven, it's not gonna happen. Fuck
said
off.
Steven.
No, because it's
I'm
not.
triggered.
I
can't.
am like straight to the point in the sense of like, they're like, well, I have a wife, and I'm like, well, what does your wife want? Well, we'll hang out, and eventually you and my wife will meet, and I'm like, but why?
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I
Why?
mean, like,
Why?
different people have different desires, right? But if your desire is not linking up with their desire, then that's just not the
Cancel.
wave. Yeah.
But that's why I say, like, it's so important to have a space, especially with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why I say it, I admire that, because you have to be in a space where you are like...
But I'm also, like, a huge fucking crybaby. And I'm always like...
I love that. I'm not... you know how I am. I'm like, I said what I fucking said. And they're like, okay, we're not going to talk about this anymore. And I'm like...
I get like that too, though. I'm like crying. I'm like, fuck you, bro. I don't even care.
But
about
I
you.
think-
but like,
Aw.
because I'm a fucking baby. But
I
then
feel
we
like
talk
you're-
about it.
I
and-
know
and we're
this.
good.
Oh, my mom.
Me and my boyfriend, we have processed many things, and we will process many more together.
Oh, God.
So,
No, but I feel like that's reasonable.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I handle emotions differently. Ugh, why? But no, because there is a space to operate within, like, you and my mom in the sense of, like, visualizing. Dude, my mom,
tears.
I could literally mean, like,
Nikki's mom is also a Leo.
she's amazing and I love her, but
Yeah.
she does things and says things sometimes, and I'm like, but she's just super sensitive, is what it is. She really is in a space where, like, you have to watch what you say. And in my space, I'm just kind of like, this is so funny, man. And my mom's like, that hurts my feeling. Yeah, so it's so interesting, but I don't think I've been in a space with an individual person where I'm like, I trust you.
Because how can you trust?
In a specific
especially
sense.
like, I couldn't imagine, like, as a cis straight woman, like, all you have to bank on is men, and that's not a lot. That's not a lot.
So, is it open for discussion in the sense of, can I change my mind?
About men?
Yeah.
Of course.
Help
No, you
me.
can always
Help.
change your mind. Real talk, looking back on, like, things that I did and things that I was interested in when I was younger, I'm like, what compelled me to think that I was straight?
Why?
But I really thought that I was, right? And it wasn't until I was 21 when I was actually like, oh, I'm attracted to a person who is not a man, that I really just, like, had to come to terms with that shit, right?
Okay. So quick.
But so, like, it could happen at any point. You know what I mean?
Quote unquote, how would I identify myself? Because honestly,
Like, the really beautiful thing about, like, gender and sexuality, Nikki, is that, like, you can determine that for yourself.
okay, because I'm curious in the sense of, like, I think women are beautiful, but
Yeah, they are.
I would never not ever put myself in a box to say, like, this is what it is.
Right.
Does that make sense?
No, yeah.
I feel like I'm in a space where, like, I'm attracted to, like, human beings, and I'm attracted to the sense of, like, personality, right? Who I get along with. So
Listen, girl, you know Google is free. You can find that shit.
Google.
You can literally, whatever it is that you're
Google.
trying to, like, find out about, like, your own feelings.
Absolutely.
Someone has already, like, verbalized
Sorry,
that,
I was like-
you know what I mean? It's ASMR. But someone else has already, like, explained it and conceptualized it in
Put
a way
it
that,
into-
and put into
yeah.
words in a way that, like, you can find it on Google and be like, okay, that's the thing that I identify with. Like, that resonates with
Okay,
me.
this makes sense because I feel like, unfortunately,
I just need all women to get on the boat. Like why suffer? Why? You know what I
There's
mean?
no
I get it.
need.
Like, you see a man, you think he's cute, that's fine. But like, why subject yourself to pain and misery?
It's pretty. What
You
I've
can have
learned-
whatever you want.
What I have learned.
Opulence. The
Thank
world
you.
is yours. You own everything.
Your oyster.
You own everything.
Break out and literally violate every social norm.
Yeah.
Just tear it down. But that's the thing. That's why I said I don't feel like I can be put in a space, quote unquote, how people will identify me is being in a space of like cisgendered, right?
Yeah.
Sure. I'm okay with that. But at the end of the day,
I'm okay with that.
But at the end of the day, I don't have a space where I'm like, never. No. That's how I feel. Like, I feel like I'm attracted to individuals.
Well, okay. So then let's be clear about this, right? Like, being cis and being straight are two different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Can we elaborate on this? Because
So-
maybe I'm confused. Who knows?
To be cis, right? To be cisgender means that you resonate and align with the gender that you were given at birth, right? So when I popped out of my mother, the doctor said it's a girl, and I align with being that, right? I align with the fact that I'm a girl, I'm a woman, za za za. So thus I am cis,
I love
right?
Zaza. It's literally my favorite. When you send it in text, can I please
know,
cry?
right?
For 10 seconds. I'm like, Shayla's here.
But right, but so like the opposite of that, right? Like if you don't align with the gender that you were given when you were born, like you would be transgender.
Whoa.
Please correct me if I'm wrong. Please.
No,
put it in the comments.
Okay, I was like, no, you're not funny. Okay, no, but that's what I'm saying is
Right, so that's gender, right? As far as sexuality, like sexual orientation, you know.
no, that makes
there's
sense
a
because
whole bunch of shit.
Thank you,
Yeah.
because I totally conform in that sense, right? I'm a lady.
I'm a lady.
Fun, yes. Lady at birth, so fun. And I'm thankful actually, because I cannot imagine putting myself in a space where I have to recreate myself, right?
Honestly, yeah. I just want to say
So much bravery. Like,
shout out to the Black trans community everywhere in Albuquerque, in New
all
Mexico,
over
throughout the whole country,
yes,
like throughout the whole
that
world.
space,
Like,
to occupy
and
that space.
I just want to say, I think cis people should devote themselves to protecting Black trans people, period.
Bottom line, that. So if we had a goal this evening, that's it.
That's
like,
it.
no, literally, and that's why I say,
Have you given money to a Black trans woman yet?
do it now, do it today. But that's the thing that I think about is being in a space, right, that is confined around privilege. And I can be like, I can move and move around in the sense of like not having to worry about that in that sense. So that's, I don't want to say it's been tough for me, but like I'm so appreciative of my personal experience in the sense of that space. What I'm saying is, okay, no, outside of gender, right? So we're talking about cisgendered and sexuality.
We're all adults here.
What does that mean?
Like, what do you mean?
Well, I can't say it
Like, so for me, when I was a kid, I very much like rejected femininity, and I wanted to be, this is also like my own personal issues, but I wanted to be held in the same standard as my
Pay
brother,
attention.
who was older than me, right? My brother was the firstborn, and he's a boy. And so everyone really, really loves my brother and like held him to a very, very high standard. And so I wanted to be held in that same way. And that coupled with the fact that like I was taller than every other kid in my class, right? And so people are always like, oh, Shayla's really tough. Shayla's really strong. And it was based on simply on the fact that I was bigger than them.
Physical.
Like, not at all that I was actually tough or actually strong, because I went home and watched fucking Sailor Moon, okay, and had feelings.
but were you not
like,
tough and not strong?
you know what I mean? And so it came to a point where that was projected on me so much that I just internalized that. And so I adopted masculinity when I was very, very young, and I like literally I dressed like in boy clothes. I dressed like my brother. I did all of those things, right? Because I wanted to be able to have the same, like, I don't know what it is, like the same like applause and praise that comes with being
Notoriety.
a guy.
Yeah.
So, but and then, you know, when I was 15, I was like, I
fuck
want
is
people to
that
think I'm
bitch?
pretty. I'm gonna wear makeup.
Really?
So
I think it's kind of weird. I think I had that internalized from like a super young age, but I don't think I was super present about it until I was like a senior, so 18. Where I was like, God damn it, Mom, I'm wearing bitch ass eyeshadow. Fuck you, bitch ass. But I think that's the difference. I think that's like a sense of like, and that's the thing, right? Nothing is like straightforward and like.
that's the
This
thing,
is
though.
this.
Nothing is straightforward. Everything is in phases.
So
Everything
stop
can
being a
change.
douche.
Stop being a douche. Like,
Please,
everything
stop.
can change. I could like. You know, I'm sitting here wearing makeup very, like, femmed out, and then, like, it could be totally different tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, this shit is fluid, and it is in phases. And, yeah.
We should appreciate that and respect that. I agree because, like I said, I'm in a space where, like, unfortunately, men have been the number one attraction.
I'm sorry. It happens.
Cries, tears.
It happens.
Where's my tissue?
Stop.
Where is it? Where is it? I'm just kidding. But what I'm saying is like human beings are in a space of like humanness, right? So we should value people regardless. Do the work, figure it out. It's
Because
not
none
their
of those
space.
things even really matter. None of those things really matter.
Just saying, you know, it's not your First of all, it's not these individuals' responsibilities to educate you.
Period.
And what I will say is that trans folks have a space of, oh my God, admirable courage.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
But also, like, how shitty is it that, like, people being, like, their authentic selves is, like, seen as being brave when they're just doing what is natural to them?
Absolutely, it's trash.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
we got, like, 10 minutes.
What I will say is, I applaud you. No, really, it does not work. Ugh. Anyway, I 100% applaud. I have a space of humbleness and occupying those spaces in doing absolutely whatever I can do to center that, right? Because I think it's so important. And on top of that, who am I to talk about Black bodies and Black voices if I'm not centering or literally bringing towards the center point of Black voices, right? Black trans women are murdered at
An alarming rate.
which
An
people should.
alarming rate.
You can't say you're Black Lives Matter and you have
And you don't give a shit
restrictions.
about Black
You're
trans
trash.
women. Like,
If
fuck you.
Bruh,
Period.
deadass,
Fuck you.
fuck off. You cannot say you care about Black bodies and Black people and Black voices if you're
And Black lives. It's someone's
literally,
life.
Fuck
Yeah.
off. Fuck off. And I know so many people in my space, right?
Yeah. Also, like, even, like, as a queer person, like, everything that queer or gay or lesbian people have today is because of a Black trans woman.
You're welcome.
Even the way that you talk, the things that you do is because of Black trans people.
Okay, can I say one more
Like-
white person who says, you're my spirit animal?
That's trash.
Can I break
White
legs?
people who like say that everything is tea, fuck you. White people
Well,
who say
honestly-
yas all the time, fuck you.
Yes. There's violence in words, right?
Yeah.
people don't understand realistic violence, right? We're in a space where you say and do things and how you produce things, it contributes to violence. So
When you're erasing the history of the terminology that you use by just assuming that it all came from RuPaul's Drag Race, that's fucking harmful.
honestly, we're gonna hold you accountable. And maybe by name. So chill the fuck
Don't
out.
let us come out here with a list
By
of
name.
names, bro. Like, don't let us come out here with a list of names, bro.
Okay, because we unfortunately do have names. That's it. This is literally like, what'd you say, bitch? What? No, this is realistic. I think people in those spaces absolutely should be challenged.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Period. Point. Like, I can't watch any black bodies be disposed of and violated. I'm not. I'm not a fan of it. So meaning, if this is how you feel and you're comfortable with that,
Then we're not comfortable with you.
go kill yourself. Is that not appropriate?
Damn, dude, that got dark.
It is. All I'm saying is I'm not in a space where we can
Like, for me, I'm just like when the revolution happens, like, you and your shitty Facebook statuses and your shitty Instagram posts and the way that you talk to black people on the internet behind closed doors or whatever in the DMs and shit, like, all of those things will determine where you land in the revolution, and you will be on the side of white people and you will be steamrolled. And I hope that you are comfortable with the decisions that you have made. Okay.
which you're not, and I will meet you there, sir, ma'am. Whatever.
So if anyone has anything, any comments regarding anything we've talked about, y'all already know our DMs are open.
And
Hit us up at I Said What I Said official on Instagram
on emails.
and emails. I Said What I Said _2 at yahoo.com. Don't drag us for the Yahoo.
Thank you. Fuck you if you do. If you have a Gmail like deadass, end of the world, you're all dying. Literally. So, no, are they not? Like,
I don't know.
anyway. Yahoo's the best you can have. Like, literally, just deal with it. But yeah, questions. We have Instagram, Facebook,
And in Facebook, and we have a YouTube. We do have a YouTube, which is also I Said What I Said.
link in the bio.
Link in the bio.
You should be good with whatever, however.
Yeah, literally hit us up in whatever way is accessible for you. And, whatever you want us to talk about, we won't talk about it. Unless we're like, this isn't relevant to our platform, in which case we won't talk about it.
But
But
maybe you can say whatever. It could go left or right. You
Yeah.
can say, like, I feel this way, and we're like, well, you feel this way.
you can say, I
but-
love uplifting white supremacy, and we'll be like, we're not answering that. But,
cheers. Good night. So, yeah, it's up to you.
yeah. But so I think...
Link in description for sure. Music by Rylan Oz.
Yes. As I said, he's in the corner. He's over here being
The
very
best.
wonderful.
No, my absolute favorites. Check it out. Don't be late.
Also, we want this to be a platform where we can uplift local artists, local musicians, because we're about, like, community. We're about
Unless you're trash,
community.
and then you get
In which case, you're not in our community, so
confront it, and
we're not
then
worrying
X
about that.
off.
But I guess that's it. We're signing out. We're tapping out. We're peacing out.
I can't. He clicks out so quick. I know. He's like, shut the hell up.